All right. Hello and welcome to another week of the Capsule. Hope everyone's good and you all had a good Christmas. This is the post-Christmas, pre-New Year's Eve episode. Probably won't be super long because everybody took time off, or most people took time off for the holidays. So there's not a bunch of stuff happening, but it's all good. Yeah, I hope everyone had a good Christmas. They've just announced today, I think, it will be yesterday when this is posted, that there's not going to be any new restrictions for New Year's or the rest of the week. I don't know after New Year's what will happen, but for this week, everybody's good, I think. So New Year's Eve is going to be wild, but everybody stay safe and do your lateral flow tests and all that shit. Anywho, I'm not here to talk about coronavirus. What stuff happened this week? There was the final battle, as far as I know, was the final battle of the year. If I'm wrong, apologies, but I don't think there's any more battles this week that in the whole of the UK. Could be wrong. But it was the blast off events in Scotland had a event. I don't think it was just a battle. I think there was all sorts of other stuff going on, and they had an all-stars one-on-one battle as part of, I think, a larger event, and Kid Turf won the one-on-one all-stars, so shout out to him, congratulations. That's dope. It's probably a nice time to have an event just after Christmas and before New Year's, I guess, when there's not a lot of stuff going on and people want to get out of the house, maybe burn off some Christmas dinner calories. What else? Indahouse announced a new house class at base, which is going to be starting in the new year, I believe. So Sean had a class. Sean had two popping classes, one on a Tuesday, one on a Thursday. He has stopped the Thursday class, so his class is only going to be on Tuesdays now, and in place of Sean's Thursday popping class is going to be an in the house weekly house class, which is cool. Up until now, I think Frankie and Clara have been teaching monthly workshops or more. I know they've been doing workshops. I don't know if it's been monthly, but it's been, regular but not so frequent. So now they're going to have a weekly class. I hope that does well. That would be good. It's Francesca and Chiara that are running it, so that'll be cool. They're both lovely people. I'm sure they'll be great teachers. I'm going to go and check it out. So that would be nice. And yeah, obviously AIM class has stopped and Sean's Thursday class has stopped now. So the only time that you get to catch Sean for his popping classes on Tuesdays. Which I assume means that Tuesdays are going to start being packed out. So yeah, that's cool, I guess. Hopefully everyone can still fit in, and he'll probably be selling out Tuesdays, but yeah, hopefully people are interested in the Thursday class as well. I think it's cool to try out some different styles and stuff. If you're a hip-hop dancer, house helps a lot with your footwork and stuff, and understanding, I think, the way you can integrate different types of movement into your hip-hop. But yeah, I think everyone can benefit from learning a bit of everything, to be honest. At least like one or two classes in like every style is going to be super helpful. So yeah, definitely recommend that class. Check that out. Next thing is that this isn't really a this week announcement necessarily, but East London Dance are opening a new building. That's been announced a while ago. They put out a call out for takeovers, so there'll be 3 week-long takeovers of the new building in the new year. I don't know that they've announced dates yet, but there'll be 3 different organizations or individuals taking over a week at a time at their new building. They haven't announced who they are yet, and we'll talk about that more once they do. But yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. It'll be interesting to see who's going to be putting on the week of events and what they do with that time. They've also shared some pictures of the studios in the new building. I don't think the new building is open yet to the public, or I'm pretty sure it's not. The studios look awesome. It's in Stratford. And yeah, I'd be interested to see what they kind of do with this new venue. I think, especially in London, more venues or new venues is always a good thing because we don't have a bunch of space that's for us, especially from an organization like East London Dance, which has a kind of track record of supporting dancers. I think that would be a good thing, because often it's like we have studios, but none of us can really afford to like hire the studios or anything like that. So we kind of rely on finding cheap space, like places like Pirate, or having organizations that will kind of put on things that we can access. So hopefully East London Dance are the latter. I don't really know their plans for the general programming of the space, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what sort of events start popping up at their venue. And from the looks of the studios, it's going to be really nice. So that's awesome as well. I think you can check out the pictures that they've uploaded on their Insta and on their website, I think. But yeah, we did a little competition on Instagram on Christmas Day that people had to nominate someone else who they wanted to win a photo shoot or a video shoot. I really liked that, actually. All the responses were super nice. I think it's nice to add a reasoning because, you nominate, often we nominate ourselves for these Insta competitions and stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, because I want it. But to have to nominate someone else and explain why you think they deserve something, I think is quite nice. And you kind of see the people who want to like selflessly like give this thing, because they don't really gain by nominating someone. The other person gains if they win. Anyway, Omni won we did a random, there's an online wheelofnames.com and you could just put everyone's name in, click go, and it automatically does it. So Omni got chosen at random, which is cool. I mean, all of the people on there were great, but Omni's a great popper and he's had a really good year this year. So it was Joshua Gadget that nominated him, and he said because he had a great year and he thought it would be good for Omni to do a video to show more of his style, which I agree with both of those things. I think he's been, for me, one of the best like newcomers to the scene. There's been quite a lot. I feel like we've had a bit of a shift this year because I think obviously a lot of people have been struggling with corona related stuff, having to work more or do things. So who's been able to participate in the scene, I think, has shifted slightly. And I think, you also have some of the older generation who are not old, but I mean, they're maybe wanting to spend more time with family or start a family, or who are just less interested in battling. So there's been a bit of a shift, I think, in the status quo of who is competing a lot and who is doing well. I think Omni's definitely part of that. Like, he's really made an impression this year. One thing I really like about that guy is like he's a specialist with his like animation and concepts and stuff, and I don't think there's a lot of people who do that anymore. Used to have people like Special K. I mean, he's still around, but I don't see him at battles anymore, who like would really go in on the concepts. And obviously like you have Marvel, who's like really into like robot and stuff like that. But I think the battle scene tends to attract people who are more all-rounders. And I don't know that Omni's like won a lot of battles this year, and it might be because of he didn't train as much as an all-rounder, but I kind of like that. I'm like, I think if it was me anyway, I'm not him, but like I like when people are specialists and we get to see and enjoy them, even if they don't win all the battles. It's like you still make the battle more entertaining than a lot of the other people who might do better, so yeah, big love to Omni. I think he's really dope. I'm looking forward to filming the video with him. Well, I'm looking forward to working with him. He has to decide whether he wants a photo shoot or a video shoot, because at the end of the day, it's his prize. Joshua said that he would want him to do a video, but he gets to choose. So we'll see. But yeah, he's really dope and good. Shout out to him. Yeah, just in general, I think it's been, just as a wrap up for the year, because this is the last pod of the year, I guess. It's been a tough one, I guess. Maybe not as tough as 2020, in terms of the dance scene, because at least we had a big portion of the year where we were allowed out, events were able to happen. Obviously, we're still adjusting and living with the situation and doing our best. There's been talk of restrictions or this hasn't been allowed to happen or whatever, but I think it was at the beginning of the year we had that lockdown. But yeah, I mean, I think we've done well. Like, you had Loud Cloud Session that popped up and did stuff outside when it was kind of needed, like you had the exhibition battles and stuff when we couldn't do stuff inside because it was outside at the bandstand. You have like sessions that have popped up and all sorts of stuff. So I think it's really good, and like we kind of all managed to find a way to make stuff happen. There's been a lot, like I said, a lot of shift in who's competing and stuff, especially in the obviously in the battle side of things. A lot of the younger guys are really like pushing and thriving and taking advantage of maybe, I don't want to speak for them, but like maybe they have less stuff to like, when you have time of like this where you have less opportunity to work and stuff like that, a lot of the younger guys aren't really working. So maybe, whereas it hit the older generation in a different way, so like they have to like prioritize making money, or if they're living with their family, they've got to provide for their family and stuff like that. If you're a bit younger, it's a bit easier to be like, oh, this is an opportunity, I'm not at school or whatever, I can train, I can go to the battles and stuff like that. So that might be a bit of it, but also I just think there's been a bit of a surge with the younger guys kind of pushing to compete anyway. I don't think that's necessarily only because of Corona. I think they've just got a fire in them and want to do well. So yeah, and it's not to say that they wouldn't do well even with all the people around. There's been some battles where a lot of the younger guys have been there when some of the like older generation have been there, and they've still done really well. So yeah, big shout out to everyone, like the people that have had to like take a step back from battling or competing or being around the scene in general. It's understandable, and it's not a bad thing that you have to prioritize your family or working or whatever it is your priorities, even if it's just your mental health or your peace, not to sound too airy fairy, but like if you just want to take a step back for that, like it's often said that the like scene moves quickly and you get forgotten quickly, but it's like I don't know that that's as much of the case, because we're all aware that everybody's a bit disconnected. So I think there's still a place for everyone, and and also shout out to the younger guys who have like come in and pushed hard this year and really started to make a name for themselves. I love to see the shift in the scene. I think as someone who's a bit older now, it's easy to not embrace change or not see the younger kids and be happy about it, because you're like, oh, they're going to take my place, or I'm going to get pushed out and they're the ones that are going to take over or whatever. But it's like, I think there's a room for everyone, and it's like, I felt moments of that, of being like, oh, there's new kids, like, when I was a bit younger and the new generation came in, and I know other people we've spoken about it on podcasts and in personal life as well. But I really think there's like room for everyone. And, being new in the scene doesn't mean you have to say screw all the older guys. And if you're an older guy, it doesn't mean, or girl, it doesn't mean you have to say screw all the younger people. There's kind of room for all of us, and hopefully like 2022, hopefully is going to bring us a bit more of like, there's a bit more consistency in terms of the events. Hopefully everything stays open and we can all kind of, settle into the scene a bit more and build some more stuff. I think this year's been a bit of a recovery year. So after we had the lockdown, everyone's like, right, we can go back out. Obviously, there's no events. There's no money for these events, really. So people are kind of like doing the best they can. But yeah, hopefully, like now we've built steam back up again going into 2022. Hopefully, it's gonna, mean that we can start to kind of look longer term, build some bigger stuff, like, I don't know, see what happens. But I'm not going to do like a whole wrap up of the year, but that's my thoughts on the year, I guess. Congratulations to everyone that's made it, or anyone that's made it this far without getting corona at all. I feel like everybody's had it at least once. So if you've dodged 2, then you're probably a superhuman at this point. But yeah. I mean, this is what, September, October, November. It's 4 months it's going to be of the capsule, like from ground zero. Like, we had nothing and started in the beginning of September. So 4 months of doing the podcast, 4 months of having the platform on Insta. Obviously, the Duke London podcast has been a couple of years, but yeah, thanks to everyone basically that has supported me this year, whether it's with your time and coming, all the guests that came to do the podcast with me, anyone that's listened to the podcasts, anyone that tunes into this, whether it's whether you're listening to me in your ears or watching me on your screen at the moment. If you are, a massive thank you. And anyone that follows the Insta or tells people about the Insta, likes any of the posts, like, thank you to all of that, because it means a lot for me personally, and it's good to let me know that it's something worth continuing. I think with anything that anyone does, you get moments where you're like not sure if it's the right thing, or you're not sure if you should continue or whatever, but to have that, people telling me stuff or telling their friends about it, or just following along and listening and engaging with the post, whatever it is, it's super helpful and super nice. So thank you. And yeah, we obviously still have the link to donate in our Instagram bio. We've had a lot of donations so far, actually, so massive thank you for that, to for everyone that's donated, even if it's, like I said before, even if you donate £1 or something, it all helps, and it will help towards equipment, but also building, being able to hire studios, whatever, like any of the projects that I want to do, it's going to help me to start those. Obviously it's not going to be paying me a wage, but hopefully I can build to a point where I can make this sustainable with you guys' help. So massive thanks for that. And if you want to donate, you can find the link in our Instagram bio. Otherwise, just tell a friend about the capsule if you like it. If you don't, it's totally fine. Yeah, I guess we'll leave it there, really. Quick one this week, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I hope, like I said before, I hope everyone had a great Christmas, got to spend time with your family, and everyone's happy and healthy. Have a great New Year's, be safe, take your lateral flow before you go out. And yeah, hopefully 2022 brings you amazing things, and we will continue back to it from next week. No break for me. Next week will be the 3rd, so yeah, a couple of days to recover after New Year's Eve. And yeah, that's it really. Thanks everyone for listening, thanks everyone for everything, and yeah, happy New Year's Eve, and thanks for 2021 basically. Yeah, see you later, guys.
The rest is empty with no brain, but the clever nerd, the best MC with no chain you ever heard. Take it from the Tech 9 holder. They bit and don't know their neck shine from Shinola. Everything that glitter ain't fish scale. Let me think, don't let her faint, get Ishmael. A shot of Jack got her back, it's not an axe stack. Forgot about the cackalack, holler back, clack, clack, blocker. Villainy, feel them in your heart, chakra chart topper. Start shit stopper, be a smart shopper. Shot a cop day around the way, bout to stay, but who to know is too mold. I wonder where the shooter go. About to jet get 'em, not a bet dead 'em. Let 'em spit the venom, said 'em got a lot of shit with 'em. Let the rhythm hit 'em. It's stronger in the other voice, we makes the joints that make 'em spread 'em butter moist, man, please. States made of panties, from the age of baby hoochies on to the grannies. Ban me the dough rake, daddy, the flow make her fatty shake. Patty cake for fake. If he wasn't need a baker's man, he'd take her for her masters. Hit her once and shake her hand. On some old thank you, ma'am, and ghost her. She can mind the toaster if she signed the poster. A whole host of roller coaster riders. Not enough tracks. Hot enough black, it's too hot to handle. You got blue sandals, who shot you, who got you? New spots to vandal, do not stand still. Boast your skills close, but no krills. Toast for polils, post no bills. Coast to coast, Joe Smoes flows ill. Go chill, not supposed to overdose, no dose pills. Off pride tykes, talk wide through scar meat. Off sides, like how Wharf ride with Starfleet. Told ya, want some get rich shit. As he gets older, he gets colder than a witch tit. This is it, make no mistakes. Where my nigga go? Figaro, Figaro.